Friends, doing a short video about Jesus praying, which is an amazing concept really. The Son of God praying to the Father when he was on earth, and even now he intercesses for us all at the right hand of the Father. He intercesses for the believers, the saints. So prayer is obviously a very important thing, and I don't make this video to make you feel guilty or anything like that. It's to encourage you that there is a real need in our day to pray, and I'm talking to myself here as well. We all need to pray more. There's so much to pray for. Sometimes it's very daunting for me. I'm just like, oh, there's so much to pray for. I just don't know how to do this, you know. But God leads you through his Spirit into a way of intercessing for situations and people, and just by his Spirit. And on this channel we've talked a lot about different types of prayer and what it actually means. But when we look at the Son of God while he was here on earth, he withdrew himself when he prayed. He withdrew himself onto a mountain or the other side of the lake, or, you know, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he withdrew from his disciples and sweated drops of blood and agonized in prayer. And an angel was sent to strengthen him. But he always kind of seemed to pray on his own, which says something about prayer to me, that it's just between you and the Father. And you know, who knows if Jesus spoke in tongues. I expect he probably did. Well, he would have done, because his tongues come from his Spirit. But he would have been able to articulate his heart perfectly. And the Spirit would have known exactly. Because you've got to remember that although Jesus was fully God, he was also fully human. And he had the same weaknesses and limitations in many ways as we do. And so, taking him as a model for prayer, we saw that he goes off on his own. He spent a lot of nights praying. The day was kind of for doing God's work and liberating people, deliverance and that kind of thing. But at night, or when he really needed to get away during the day, he would find a very secluded spot where he wouldn't be interrupted. And you know, when you take into account the transfiguration, which is when Jesus kind of transformed before the disciples, who knows what actually happened in those secluded moments, you know. Whether he was conversing with Moses and Elijah and all that kind of stuff. But I guess the point in me making this video is to encourage you that God prayed. The Son of God prayed. How much more should we? You know, it's the same with baptism. The Son of God got baptized. How much more should we? You know, it's not just some, you know, stupid ritual. It's a sign. It's a signal that you have repented and come before the throne. I've lost the dogs. Come on, dogs! So it's just a short video just to encourage you to pray more, because I was lying in bed last night and prayers just came rushing to me. I didn't have to do anything about it. It was just, I was lying in bed, I could hardly sleep, and so much to pray for, just lying there, agreeing with the Spirit. You know, I wasn't in bed going, "Oh Father, please hear my prayer," or whatever. I was just listening and watching and agreeing in my heart. That's still prayer. You know, prayer is, as I've talked about before, there's a meditation aspect to prayer as well. Not in the New Age sense, but as a Christian practice, to really focus in on the Spirit of God and what He's saying, and let Him kind of inspire you. So be encouraged. I hope, you know, you'll come away from this video. Maybe you're not going to climb a mountain or whatever like Jesus to get away from everybody, but, you know, go to your room, close the door, spend, or, you know, or go out in the woods and with your dogs like I do, and either pray in tongues or just meditate and think, and let situations and people come to you and pray for them accordingly. You know, people are desperate for prayer. Prayer is the most powerful weapon we have against the enemy, and it's also the best communication we have with the Father. So we need to do it more. People don't pray enough. I know this because there are prayer meetings around here, but I can only ever make one, and people, when they go to these prayer meetings, they have an agenda, which is fine, you know, a shopping list for God, but a lot of the time people don't kind of just wait on the Lord and expect Him to speak or whatever. And I'm just as bad, you know. I'm not saying I'm any better. I'm just saying that's the way a lot of prayer meetings work, in my experience. So we as believers need to set up prayer meetings and Bible studies and worship sessions and really get into active warfare against evil spirits, and prayer while listening to the Father is actively taking a stand against them and waiting for His sovereign call to lead us and guide us and show us and teach us, and that we can expect Him to do great things when we pray in His name. So have a lovely day. Be blessed and enjoy your prayer time today.